Tuesday's Gemara Daf Samach Gimel, and we're up to towards the bottom of the page. And we're talking about over here is when a shlich leilacha shel Kabbalah, you have an agent representing her, a Kabbalah representing him, leilacha, and the Gemara, and we had a thing called heilich, which is a question why the heilich is when you use the expression heilich, they mean they should be zeicha straight away, or heilich means delivered, just deliver it, and when she receives it, she'll be divorced. And we'll soon discuss heilach. We said heilach, take it. As it, is it stronger than heilich, and maybe that does work. We'll see it's a machlekes tonight. Tonight we learned in the Braisa. He's Kabbalah-giti. The wife says to the shliach, "I want you to be a shliach like Kabbalah, represent me." The ishtacham is Kabbalah-giti, and then the shliach says to the husband, "Your wife said I should be a shliach Kabbalah." But what word did he use? Heilich v'tenla, to deliver it and give it to her. Zachila, be zeicha in her bath. Be Kabbalah. Even if he used the word heilich, deliver it, it's as if he said, and be zeicha on her behalf. In other words, this Tana holds clearly that heilich is kischi, agreeing with the wife. Rab Nassan says, no. Heilich v'tenla is be a courier. You can change your mind. Heilich means deliver. I don't want you to act on her behalf, deliver. But if he says zechila or he's kabbalah, that's something else. That's clearly he's saying act on her behalf. Rebbe says, cool in all these cases. Rebbe says in all these cases, if he wants to change his mind, he cannot change his mind. In other words, he agrees that even heilich is kischi. If he clearly says she should kabbalah, if he says clearly these words, I don't want you to act on her behalf. I just want you to take and deliver it. Here he's clearly telling you that heilich does not mean be zoiche, he means be a freight courier. Be a courier. You can change his mind. Talking about Rebbe and Tanakama. What's the difference Rebbe and Tanakama? They're both saying that heilich is not that heilich is kischi. Yibai saying Rebbe is coming to add this phrase that he could cancel it, even though he used the word heilich. If he clearly says efshi, then use heilich, it doesn't mean they should be straight away divorced. The Yibai saying Tanakama Rebbe. It's not a third opinion. He's defining. He's telling you who the Tanakama is. Yibai, okay. My question is, what about heilich? Instead of heilich, it's heilich. According to the other Tanaim, madach heilich, which can be interpreted as the liver, we're saying that it means kischi. She says, "Hey, look, take it here." For you, more ownership than surely acting her back. My question is, according to Nassim, do we say kischi? How would Nassim learn? Tashma, coming here. If a husband says in this Mishnah, deliver, be a courier. Or take this get into my wife. If you want, he can change his mind. Okay. Now he has no right to be zoich on behalf of his wife because it's chayvul, it's bad for her. Okay, fine. But what in the next case? If the wife says to the shliach, "Go ahead and make kabbalah get," and then the husband turns around and the shliach goes to the husband and says, "Your wife told me to use kabbalah," and the husband turns around and says, "Hoyle gets alishti," he can still change his mind. Sorry, if she says kabbalah giti, and even though the husband said hoyle gets alishti, he can no longer change his mind. What does that clearly say from here? That the hoyle is kischi, and the moment the wife said, "For me it's good," like you said, "For me it's good," then the hoyle comes kischi. My love, what are we talking about over here? We're not talking about like a Tanakama. We want the mission to learn according to everybody. Now we know that Rav clearly holds that heilich does not work. So maybe he's talking about heilich. He used the word heilich, and therefore even Rav will agree. But heilich with Rebbe, he used the word heilich, and it's going to Rebbe. He's the heilich kischi. In fact, what's the Gemara's in the first place? Coming here. Therefore, it says in the Mishnah further, I don't want you to act in her back. Take it and deliver it. Be clear for that. He says, you can change your mind. The only reason why he can change his mind is I can't take it. If he said that, if he didn't use those words, just says I'm heilich, he can only change his mind. Now, we're not talking about only heilich. My lab, the heilich, even heilich, but I'm not supposed to even have nothing. Again, we're heilich with Eddie. Talking about heilich, and over the Rebbe is a heilich kischi. That's why the only time that it's not is if he says efshi. Toshma coming here. Heilich gets alishti. He says, "Take this get to my wife." If he uses it, says clearly the Braisa. Heilich gets alishti. You could change your mind because he's just a courier. Now, whose opinion is that? That's Abnas. He says heilich lav kischi. Oh, but heilich gets alishti. Heilich, you cannot change your mind. Now, man shamay dama heilich gets lav yachid. Who's the one that says the heilich is not kischi? That heilich you just deliver it. That nothing. And yet it said clearly the heilich gets lav yachid. Shmami no that heilich is chi dami shmami no. Clear eye from this Braisa that heilich is different than heilich and it's like chi. Itma we learn in the following thing. which is a bit cryptic. She said to the shliach who received the get from me. And then the shliach goes to the husband. Receive it on his behalf. He used the word heilig v'tenla. Now we're going to see we're following Rav Nosson here, and or we're not sure who to follow, Rav Nosson or Rebbe. According to Rav Nosson, heilig means he's canceling. He says, "I want you to deliver it," and according to Rebbe, it's three. So we're not sure who shliach it is, as we more explained. And if the husband dies sometime in the interim, and no children, and there's a brother-in-law, she has to receive chalitza.
Confusion here because he added the same law.
No, because it says heilig. Because it's heilig.
According to the Rebbe, heilig.
But we're not sure what the Allah is like Rebbe or Rav Nosson. We'll see. Remember, seems to me the Mesapkel the Rav is not sure. Heilig is chidami. Therefore, she's divorced straight away. You don't need the yibum is divorced. He's now acting on behalf of the husband. Therefore, she's not divorced yet. And if he dies, she needs a yibum or chalitza. Says the Gemara, but when it comes to the same Rav we learned, if a borrower says to the shliach, "Me favor, here's $100, bring it to the lender." Shani chai I owe money. Rav says chai bachyu. So the lender never said use the shliach. So obviously you're responsible until the lender receives the money. You can no longer change your mind. Why not? Because heilig is kiski. He said clearly heilig man leplani. He says if he was on behalf of the malva. So how can Abba here say he has a suffix? Hasam there, suffix, attack a suffix there as well. Of a suffix, and we have a rule that since once the money left, since the money left your hand already, you want the money back, you're the mitzi. And therefore, since it's a suffix, but over here, interesting that we make the borrower the mitzi rather than the lender when the shlich is acting on behalf of the borrower. But over here, it's a suffix isur, the get, and therefore we're machmir. Ein ha'isha, a new thing which we learned before as well. Ein ha'isha oisa shliach lekabel gittin miyat shliach baila. If the husband sends a shliach, the wife cannot send a shliach to receive it from the husband. Now, why not? We had this in the end of the second. Why not? Why can't the wife point the shliach? We learned before you can make a shliach kabbalah. Why can't you have a shliach kabbalah? Mekabel shliach lalacha. So we have two reasons to Gemara. We'll see in a minute. And with the opposite view. Yes, Isha Isa Shliach Lekabel Gittin Miyat Shliach Baila. One shliach can represent the other. Okay, now my time of that. What's the Rav Svar? Is it one reason is the husband is insulted? That you yourself can't go pick up from my shliach, what my shliach is not good enough for you, you have to send somebody else. You're violating me, you're insulting me. And therefore I don't want to get to be such a case. I mean, the husband's mean enough to give her a get. The husband's in total control, and your power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, Mela, as if you're insulting me, well, okay, so I'm going to make you suffer, as mean as he is. Or the other reason is if the husband places the get in somebody else's third party's chutzner, and then the wife buys the get, it buys the chutzner, she's not divorced. Why? Because she didn't get it from the husband. The husband put the get in the chutzner when it wasn't hers yet. And the same thing, the shluchim are like the chutzner. So if we're going to have the husband appoints a shliach, and then the wife appoints a shliach, very good. Then the chutzner of the husband put it in the chutzner, and then the chutzner goes to the wife's chutzner. It's all good. But if the wife would appoint the shliach first, and the wife points first is okay. But if the wife points afterwards, then it comes out that the husband put the chutzner first, and then she came and took it afterwards. It's no good, and that's why we're worried about it. My benai, ika benai, the kod me even shav shliach mekad. If she appointed first, then it's all right. Okay. Someone to say that the difference, the Bishop Engel wants to say the difference is if we understand shliach is like mamish the mishalech, then shliach lo kabbalah doesn't matter. But if you learn it's not mamish the shliach, it's a second party, then we have these issues here. So you want further. I woke up with a person the shadla gittul business and they get to his wife, and also shliach, and when shliach went, he sent a get to his wife, and the shliach found ashke kiyasra v'kolisha. The shliach went to the wife's house, and he saw that she was standing there, and she was busy kneading her dirty hands. Amallah, he said to her, "Hey, Gittin, here's your get. I'm bringing from your husband." Amallah, she said, "Lehev be do me a favor. I want you to act on my behalf now." So what she did was she converted the shliach leilach into a shliach kabbalah. What happens in this case? If If Rabbi Chanina is correct, Rabbi Chanina said that a woman can appoint a shliach Kabbalah to be mekabel from a shliach halacha. Otherwise, it's not talk about because it's a shliach. If she could, then of the movement, then it's all right. The shliach halacha can turn the shliach Kabbalah. Even let's say the halacha, that's talking about two different people. She appoints a Kabbalah, he appoints a halacha, they can do that. We have a rule that the shliach has to be able to conclude the shlichus and tell the husband did the shlichus. Here, the shliach never concluded the shlichus until he became the shliach of the wife. And he's no longer the shliach of the husband to go back and report that I finished my shlichus. So therefore, it's not a valid shlichus. Because you can't have...
Did complete his shlichus.
You can't.
But if let's say a case where he gave it to her, she took it.
In theory, he doesn't have to. In theory, he has to be able to. He has to be able to show, I completed my shlichus. You started the shlichus, I'm acting on behalf, and I completed the shlichus, acting on your behalf. Here, the shlichus is not completed until he's no longer shliach. Until he became his shliach.
Same time, could he go back and be a shliach for someone else on the way back?
Yeah, he could. That's it, because yes, he can. But over here, the point is, he does not complete the shlichus until he gives it to her. He does not give it to her until he becomes her shliach, which means that the shliach leilach is no longer in existence. In order to complete the job, the only way he can complete the job of giving the get to her is by no longer being his shliach. Yeah. I'll just tell you a story. I shouldn't have this. Okay, but Shalchul, I'll tell you a story in a minute. Shalchul the kamed Rabami, sent for Rabami. Shalchul loy chazor shlichus abal. Sorry, second. So then they said to Rabami, what does he think? They asked him, what do you think in this case? Because you can't, the shliach cannot go back to the Baal. They sent to him, what do you say? So he answered, he said, well, it's no good. The shliach cannot go back to the husband. Abba said, I need a ruga cup. I need to be able to sit there and ponder it and think it through. It's a difficult shaila. Do you need such a concept that the shliach or not? Anyway, they kept on nudging him. Omar, he said to them, all the people sent to me and they asked me the question. And who you do? They have the question and we have the question. I don't know. So in the meantime, it's a question of get. And it's a dover shebera, right? We don't know what to do. Dover shebera, it's now the dover shebera is a suffix. If the husband died before, he needs chalitza, and we don't do yibum because maybe you don't need the shliach to go back. Maybe she was divorced, so you chalitza no yibum if he is. There's another similar story. To get, they need another get because maybe the shliach didn't fulfill his job, but also said you need chalitza. If the husband died before they received the second get, you still need chalitza. Now the question is, what do you mean why chalitza? If there's no get, you need a second get, then she should marry the yibum. And the yavam. Tarti, both rules. If there's a get, one need a chalitza, and once he died, if there's no get. So Gemara says, get, mechayim, chalitza. This is what he said to her. Not you need get and chalitza. If the husband's still alive, obtain a second get. But if the husband died, then chalitza. If he died. Not that you need both. Here's the thing. There's a person called Naf-Osa. The wife's name was Naf-Osa. So we see in those days they made up names as well. For a woman, Naf-Osa. Ozil Sadi, the Adim came in mistake. The husband told them to write a get, and they wrote Taf-Osa. They spelled it wrong. And now the problem, of course, not a valid get. But they on one hand, they completed the shlichus wrong. So how do we view that? Do we view that they completed the shlichus, but they erred? Or we say the shlichus is not complete yet. So they have the right to write another get till they complete the shlichus properly. So it's also they completed the shlichus. Found they can no longer write another get. They got to go. And they have to go back to the husband and get a new appointment. Maskod Rabba said, that he appointed a shliach to write a piece of clay. He don't write a get. They didn't write Kozman. They didn't write the get. They didn't complete the shlichus, so they have the right and the commission to write another get and do it correctly. Surely, if they wrote a proper get and then the ovad and they lost it, then also did the shlichus, and they're not allowed to write a second get without getting permission or a shlichus again from the husband because they wrote a proper get. But if in this case when they never wrote a proper get, it's not sure they did the wrong shlichus. They didn't do any shlichus. Similar to Nachman said before that when the guy delivered the get to the wife, nothing happened because he didn't do any shlichus. Says the Gemara, Masker Nachman, Mi Ka'ama, it's the same logic. Did he just say, right to stammer get in the belt? He meant right to get and give it to her. So Kohl's man, they didn't give it to her, they didn't complete the shlichus. Why can't they be right to get? Using your logic. Did he tell the right to get and keep in your pocket? As long as you didn't complete the entire shlichus, like you didn't do anything. So you can constantly have the right to correct it and do it right. So Rabbi said that's a question. What happened? He says, Kisvu write it and give it to a shliach. He said, write the get and give it to a shliach. So how do we understand that? I appointed another shliach to deliver it. I want you to write it and hand it over to that shliach. And what happened was, it got lost. The shliach lost it. Mau, Siluke Soliglu. In this case, their job was merely to write it, even though he clearly said, I want my wife to get it, but not through you, through the shliach. The shliach lost it. Do we say Solig Soliglu? They completed their job, and therefore they're no longer permitted to write another get. Really, their job is to bring the get, but it's a big ticha for these people to go ahead. So he said, I'm doing a favor, I'm making it easier. But Kozman, the get wasn't received by my wife, the shlicha wasn't completed, so you have a right to rewrite it. What happens? What happened? He said, and bring it to her. He said, he instead of saying, give it to the shliach, he spells out and give it to the shliach so that he can bring it to her. Let's say in your case, he told them, write the get, give it to the shliach. That's your job. Okay, maybe they finish the shlichus. Sadeh cheshbon, what the shliach does. But if he clearly said, I want you to write the get, give it to the shliach, because he would deliver it to her. Because he inserted that extra phrase, he would deliver it to her, as if he's saying that your shlichus is only done, maybe, when she receives it. So the question is, Mao, what's in this case? Do we say the shlichus is incomplete, because she didn't receive it or not? Teiku. Even use the word tuli instead of iskabel. He said tuli. The wife says to the shliach, take it for me. Giti as if kabbalah. But we added more. Tuli, take for me. Soli, carried for me. V'heli b'yodcha, have it for me in your hand. Kulon lashon kabbalah. And these are all expressions of kabbalah. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll see you tomorrow in Mitzvah Shem. Good day, everybody.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.